Hey, it's Forest After Dark again with another entry in my series where I'm taking you through my journey through writing my book, my novel, the second book in a cyberpunk trilogy. First book is called The Glass God. It is already out and you can find it on Amazon, a link in the description below. But yes, I usually do this every night to give you writing tips, just like writing tips and like little suggestions and stuff like that if you are working on your own novel or you feel inspired to write your own novel. Hopefully you are already past the inspiration part at this point and you are writing. If so, congratulations, it's awesome. Even if you're only writing like 250 words a day or something like that, that's great. Honestly, for me, 250 words is like the most I've been able to do recently, which is how busy I am, but also just trying to make sure that I get this book exactly exactly the way that I want it to. I know it's not going to be perfect, but you want to be as close to great as possible. And, I'll just show that real briefly. I don't even know if I saw that, if I captured that completely. I'll see when I watch the video later. So right now I'm writing a scene, and in the scene, without giving too much away, it is kind of an interrogation. It's an interrogation of the main character. A few characters are interrogating the main character. They kind of want to know where his who he really is, what where his loyalties really lie, and everything. Pretty basic interrogation stuff. And originally, I started writing it in a way where the character who's doing the interrogating, he goes extreme, like right at the beginning. Like he goes extreme and he starts like directly threatening the main character's life if he doesn't answer his questions honestly. And I started writing some dialogue after that to, to kind of like drive the tension, like get the tension going up and up and up. And then I kind of realized that it did feel a little bit extreme. That the character's extreme action at the beginning was a little too extreme too quickly, even for that particular character. It felt almost artificial, like a way of trying to like heighten the tension without earning it. So, as simple of a fix as this may seem, I fixed it to where the character does not start directly threatening the main character's life until later. At first it's the questions, and then he starts kind of grilling him with these follow-up questions and really just trying to get into the main character's head, understand who he is. And the main character is not necessarily answering either completely truthfully or at all. And then the character can pull out the gun and threaten the main character's life. There's another character in the room that does not support the idea of the main character being killed by the interrogator, so that kind of adds to the tension. But when it comes to building tension, you don't want to go big at the very beginning and then just try to go only bigger from there. You want to start small. You want to really weaponize the dialogue, so that the tension is built up through dialogue exchanges, through facial expressions, through the characters studying each other. You have like those other arguments happening with the other characters in the room. Like all this to kind of build a proper sense of tension so that the readers are fully engaged. Because when you have a character do something like really extreme for the sake of pushing the plot, or for even just for the sake of manufactured drama, you want to avoid that. You want to start in a scene where you're building tension. You want to start small, and then you keep building and building and building. And then when the readers think that it can't get any more tense, it does. I actually did something similar when I wrote my first book, where there's a massive scene in Act 3, and And that involves like these arguments that build and build and build. The tension builds until it just explodes at the end. And in order for me to be able to write that in a way that flowed really well, I actually had to write an entire outline for that scene before writing the scene itself, because I needed to understand, like where all the characters were positioned, what were their perspectives, their arguments, their thoughts, like how would they act in this specific situation. I had to outline all of that. We usually say, it's a good idea to outline your book before you start writing it. I had to outline the scene. And that turned out to be really, really helpful. It really helped the scene stay tense. It's actually, for the people who read my book, it's one of their favorite parts of it. They thought Act 3 was really, really strong, that being one of the reasons. And I feel like as I'm writing this scene right now, I feel like I need to write an outline just for this scene that I'm working on in book 2. So yeah, anyway, just to, cap off there, if you're writing a scene where you want to have tension, make sure it's not artificial, make sure it's not out of nowhere, and make sure that whatever the characters do, it stays within character. Too often we see in other books and movies and TV shows that tension explodes, but it's kind of artificial and is done for the sake of manufactured drama without it ever feeling earned or, feeling like good payoff. It's just a way to keep driving the plot in the direction that the writers are essentially trying to force over there. So, yeah. Best of luck to you. If you are writing a novel right now, awesome. I hope you continue this journey with me. Please like and subscribe if you want to keep getting more like these, because I'm doing these every day. And I will see you tomorrow night. Bye.